We're David and Sarah, and we love to travel. Recently, we ran into a roadblock though. Luckily, it didn't take me long to figure out a good solution. Alright. Sarah figured out a good solution.
Either way, we decided on a working holiday in Canada, and we'd like you to share this experience with us.
Welcome back, everyone. It is freezing out here. I have one glove and one makeshift beanie mitt glove thing because it's so cold.
We're going to be doing a video on how we survive on minimum wage here in BC, Canada. So we earn $15 an hour, $15.20 to be exact.
Surviving on minimum wage is a challenge. It does take a lot of discipline, but there is some strategies and ways you can get around it.
So usually we prep our meals, so we prep our lunch and our dinner. We go to the store to buy some groceries, and our meals do work out to maybe between $2 to $6 per meal. We do eat out a little bit on the weekend, but during the week we're super strict. Breakfast, lunch, dinner is everything that we've bought from the grocery store. It's hard in staff accommodation to cook, so we prep all our meals and it works.
It would be a lot easier just to get some lunch from the cafeteria, but if you want to survive here, if you want it to be sustainable, then you do have to put your foot down and make some disciplined decisions.
We also purchased a cheap vehicle, but something that is reliable, so you don't want to go too cheap to the point where you end up spending more money.
The poor man pays twice. If you buy a really cheap car, something goes wrong with it, then you're going to have to either buy another really cheap car or a really expensive fix. So we just went with a sort of middle of the range car that we think that will get us out of trouble for the time that we're here.
So far it's been doing a great job. We also live in staff housing, which is pretty cheap, works out to about $275 a week. So that's something to think about if you want to live on minimum wage. Maybe ask your work, do they have any accommodation?
Once again, not the greatest accommodation, but we're trying to live within our means and we're trying to make our wage work for us.
Yeah.
And that's just another way that we can do it.
Yeah.
If you're going to live on minimum wage, you don't want to come into it with any other debt. You don't want any car loans, credit card loans. If you're living abroad, you don't want anything back home that's going to tie you down. And everything you spend, you're going to want to make sure that it's in your account. You're not using credit, because it's very easy to work yourself into a pickle, especially if you're used to earning a lot more back home. It's also all about your expectations. So don't come here expecting to put any money away for the summer season or the off season, earning your minimum wage, because it's just not realistic. It's not going to happen. Nope. Technically, you could put away $50 a week or something, but you'd have to be living like a real pauper and not really enjoying the season that you're currently in.
Another thing is petrol costs. So for us, we live where we work, which saves us a lot of petrol money and has saved us a lot of petrol money for the season. If you can live where you work, that'll save you a lot of money as well, because petrol is not cheap.
It's very expensive, and also even for our resort, we do have some staff living in the city, which is about 25 minutes away, and they do offer a free shuttle. So if you can bear with the public sort of transportation situation, then that's also a good free option to get you to and from work. Something that makes these seasonal types of like ski resort jobs worth it is the benefits that come with it. So for us, for example, I work in rentals at the ski resort. I get all free rentals, so that's a good benefit. And also we get free season passes, which I believe they're about $1,000 each. Free board waxes, high performance tunes, all that sort of stuff using their machinery, and it's all free, where it would cost a normal customer, you know, between $50 to $100 for any of those services, including rentals. So if you can make use of those things, it does kind of balance out the really poor pay. And if you are making use of them, then you can kind of add it to your income in a sense. Another thing to keep in mind is just to live within your means. We don't spend money that we don't have. If it's got to go on credit to be able to afford it, we can't afford it. We just consider that we don't have it. And we also treat our savings back in Australia the same way. If we have to dip into those savings, we can't afford it. Because those savings are a safety net for us for when we return to Australia, for our investments in Australia, and it is not to be dipped into
Yeah.
for unnecessary things.
So the only thing we really dipped into our savings for is our car and our
Hotels when we got stranded in Vancouver, which was kind of out of our control.
Yeah.
We needed somewhere to live,
Yeah.
and we also weren't earning a Canadian income at that point, so that wasn't really our savings at that point. That was
Yeah.
just kind of our money, our livelihood.
Yeah, it's more just the car, really. But yeah. Another thing is hiking is free. There's a lot of things that you can do here. You can go to provincial parks.
There's just a lot of beautiful sights. You can just come to your local park and
Watch the sunset. You can always go to Tim Hortons, get a double-double. Those are so cheap.
Very cheap, yeah.
Yeah, so you can have a good time, definitely. It's just that, like, you have to be, I think, an outdoor person. Get out there, have fun. We were just stepping in some iced water puddles before, and that's cool
so
for
much
us.
fun.
It's fun. Like, we just embrace everything. Like, everything about Canada, we embrace it.
Guys, for those of you who don't know, we're Christians. We don't do that whole party, nightlife, lifestyle, all that sort of stuff. That saves us a lot of money in itself. Alcohol's very expensive. That whole lifestyle is very expensive. So that does save us a lot of money as well.
Yep. But yeah, like, I just feel like if you are in Canada, you know, explore the outdoors. Get out there, have fun, go skiing, snowboarding, tubing, ice skating, hiking. Like, there's so many things to do besides partying. Those kind of activities are not expensive.
Ice skating, you can literally find a frozen pond somewhere and either buy some $5, $10 secondhand skates or something like that. It's really not a big deal.
Yeah. You can also go and see hockey games. You can go and see some hockey games, ice hockey games. Those are pretty cheap. $15, I think, somewhere around there. But yeah, that is the video for today. It was so cold, but it's so beautiful. And we're just embracing life as it hits us. I think we just have so much comfort in the fact that we rely on God and we're Christian, and that just makes our experience so much better. If I'm talking weird, it's because my face is frozen.
Yeah, I think it's that time.
So don't forget to like, share, and comment below if you have any tips or recommendations on things that we should do here while we're in Vernon.
If you made it this far, you've done really well. Give yourself a pat on the back. Subscribe if you haven't already, because that'll be much less painful than having sat through this whole video. And we will see you probably in around 3 or 4 days.